The biggest mistake people make on keto, no one talks about this. Most people who try keto fail within the first month. And the frustrating part is they think they know exactly why. They blame cravings. They blame social pressure. They blame the fact that bread exists and smells incredible. But the real reason so many people crash and burn on keto has nothing to do with any of that. There is one specific mistake sitting quietly underneath all the other problems, and almost nobody in the keto world is talking about it. Stick with me because by the end of this, the way you think about keto is going to shift completely. Let me set the scene. You have done your research. You cut the carbs down to almost nothing. You are eating eggs and avocado and bacon and all the foods people associate with this diet. Week 1 goes okay. Week 2, you feel kind of terrible, but you push through because everyone said there would be a keto flu. Week 3, you are exhausted, your workouts feel like you are moving through cement, and your brain will not work properly. By week 4, you are standing in front of the pantry eating crackers at midnight, wondering what went wrong. Sound familiar? Here is the thing most keto content creators gloss over. The problem usually is not the carbs. You probably got those right. The problem is electrolytes, and not in the vague way people casually mention them. The real issue is how dramatically and how quickly your body loses sodium, potassium, and magnesium when you enter ketosis, and almost nobody explains the actual mechanism behind why this happens or what to do about it seriously. When you eat carbohydrates, your body stores them as glycogen in your muscles and liver. Glycogen holds onto water, and that water holds onto electrolytes. The moment you drop your carb intake low enough to start burning fat instead of glucose, your glycogen stores deplete rapidly. All that stored water gets flushed out, and with it goes a massive amount of these critical minerals. This is not a slow, gradual process. It happens fast, usually within the first week. Your kidneys also shift into a different mode on keto because lower insulin levels cause them to excrete more sodium directly. So you are losing electrolytes from 2 separate mechanisms simultaneously, and most people have no idea this is happening to them. The symptoms of this electrolyte crash are almost identical to the supposed keto flu: headaches, fatigue, brain fog, muscle cramps, heart palpitations, irritability, poor sleep. Everyone gets told this is just their body adapting to burning fat. Ride it out, they say. Drink more water, they say. But drinking more plain water when you are already sodium depleted actually makes things worse because it further dilutes the electrolytes that remain. It is the opposite of what your body needs. Now here is where the mistake gets even bigger and even less talked about. Most people who do try to address electrolytes pick up a standard sports drink or electrolyte tablet and call it done. But the amounts in most of these products are nowhere near sufficient for someone in ketosis. A typical electrolyte drink might have 200 milligrams of sodium. Someone on keto often needs closer to 3,000 to 5,000 milligrams of sodium per day total, depending on their activity level and how strict their carb restriction is. That is a massive gap. And the supplements that actually have meaningful doses of potassium are heavily regulated because high potassium can be dangerous, which means most over-the-counter products give you a fraction of what you actually need from that mineral too. Magnesium is its own separate conversation. The form matters enormously. Magnesium oxide, which is the cheapest and most common form found in supplements, has notoriously poor absorption. Magnesium glycinate or magnesium malate are absorbed far more effectively and are less likely to cause the digestive discomfort that turns people off supplementing it altogether. So, what does fixing this actually look like in practice? First, you need to get serious about sodium. This is counterintuitive for a lot of people because we have been told our whole lives that salt is the enemy. But on keto, your body genuinely needs more of it. Salting your food generously is a start, but many people doing keto find they need to go further. Adding sodium to water, using bouillon or broth as a daily habit, and choosing saltier whole food options all make a real difference. Second, focus on potassium-rich foods that are also low in carbs. Avocados are exceptional for this. Leafy greens like spinach, nuts, and certain fish are solid sources. Third, supplement magnesium in a well-absorbed form and take it at night because it also helps improve sleep quality, which is often disrupted in the early weeks of keto. But here's the layer that almost nobody reaches in this conversation. Electrolyte depletion on keto does not just cause physical symptoms. It directly sabotages your mental and emotional experience of the diet in ways that feel completely unrelated. When your sodium is low, your body activates stress hormones to compensate. Cortisol spikes. This does not just make you tired, it increases cravings for high-carb comfort foods because your brain is essentially in a mild stress state and doing what brains do under stress, which is seek fast energy. So the cravings that everyone blames on willpower or psychological weakness are in many cases being chemically driven by an electrolyte problem that nobody addressed. You were not weak. Your body was responding to a mineral deficit in a completely rational way. This also explains why some people feel amazing on keto initially, and others feel terrible from day one. The people who feel great early on are often people who were eating fairly high sodium diets before starting, or who naturally eat a lot of the foods that buffer the electrolyte loss. The people who crash hardest in week 1 are often those who came from a very clean eating background, lots of fruits and vegetables and low-processed food, meaning their diet was lower in sodium to begin with. They start keto already at a disadvantage, and then their body flushes out what little they had. There is also a long-term angle here that matters just as much as the early phase. Even after you have pushed through the initial adaptation, chronic low-level electrolyte insufficiency can continue quietly undermining your results for months. It can prevent you from building or maintaining muscle effectively. It can cause persistent fatigue that you attribute to sleeping badly or working too hard. It can impair cognitive function enough that your focus and productivity suffer. It can even affect your cardiovascular system in subtle ways. And because the symptoms are general and not dramatic, most people just accept them as normal or blame them on aging or stress or anything other than what is actually going on. The keto diet has real benefits that are well documented. For many people, it genuinely transforms their energy, their body composition, their mental clarity, and their relationship with food. But the version of keto that works long-term looks meaningfully different from the version most people stumble into based on beginner information. The difference often comes down to whether someone treats electrolyte management as a foundational, non-negotiable part of the protocol, or whether they treat it as an afterthought or ignore it entirely. If you have tried keto before and it felt unsustainable, before you write the whole diet off, I want you to genuinely consider whether electrolytes were the invisible problem. Not because every failed keto attempt comes down to this one thing, but because it is the single most common underaddressed factor that I see repeatedly. The people who succeed long-term are almost always the ones who figured this out, whether they did it intentionally or accidentally. Now you have the information to do it on purpose. Give it a real try before you make your verdict. And if this changed how you see keto, share this with someone who needs to hear it.